Welcome to another episode of China Update, where I provide you guys with the most up-to-date political, economic and geostrategic analysis on the world's #2 economy. My name is Tony. Let's jump in.
Okay, happy Friday everybody. Recently removed Foreign Minister Qin Gang has returned, digitally at least. Let me explain by going back a few days. In the days leading up to his official removal as Foreign Minister on Tuesday, we did a deep dive into this in Wednesday's video, China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs had been erasing all mention of Qin Gang on their website. During the Mao era, Beijing was known to remove senior officials from photos and other records, typically after they fell out of favor or were purged. Such erasures have been much rarer, however, in the decades since the Mao era, and the scrubbing of Qin Gang was very conspicuous, especially in the age of the internet. One widely shared Weibo post by a Chinese lawyer this week sardonically expressed, for example, quote, "So Qin Gang was never our foreign minister then?" End quote. The foreign ministry press events this week were even more conspicuously awkward. On Wednesday, the foreign ministry spokeswoman was unable to provide any answers to at least 20 questions about Qin, repeatedly telling reporters, who themselves were becoming increasingly exacerbated, to refer to Chinese state media for more information, but adding, quote, "We consistently oppose malicious hype of this matter," end quote. Then the official transcript of the briefing removed all questions related to Qin. But then yesterday, in another strange twist suggesting that decision-making surrounding the Qin Gang affair is still very much in a confused state, news releases with his name and picture in them are now back on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website. Why the sudden reversal of this erasure? Of course, we don't know. The most convincing explanation I have heard is that the Foreign Ministry likely concluded that the full removal of the former foreign minister in the age of the internet is just too bad a look, both externally and domestically. But of course, we have no idea. The implications of all this are still speculative too. Quote, "This digital reappearance does not change my guess that the issues are related to political, not physical health. I would be surprised if Wang Yi does not stay in the foreign minister post until APEC and a possible meeting with Biden in November. Wang Yi knows the US-China relationship better than anyone, and they need steady hands between now and at least APEC, and changing the foreign minister again in the next 3+ months at least would look bad." End quote. Next up, yesterday, Thursday, General Secretary Xi Jinping met with Indonesian President Joko Widodo in Chengdu, the beautiful provincial capital of the southwestern province of Sichuan, famous for spicy food and the giant panda. Xi is in Chengdu to attend the opening ceremony of the 31st summer edition of the FISU World University Games. Today, Friday, Indonesia's Widodo is also there to attend the Games, but of course the meeting with Xi and many of the ruling Politburo is the most important aspect of his trip. According to Chinese state media, Xi Jinping expressed that the priorities for China is expanding imports of bulk commodities and high-quality agricultural products from Indonesia, deliver on the RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Free Trade Agreement, and strengthen cooperation in fields including food security, poverty reduction, rural revitalization, vocational education, language education, medicine and health, culture and tourism. A commitment to deepen its comprehensive strategic partnership with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations was also communicated. Indonesia is currently rotating chair of the ASEAN. Similar comments, of course, were made by Wang Yi at the recent ASEAN Foreign Ministers Summit earlier this month. Comments on the G20, BRICS, and Xi's new foreign policy flagship projects, the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative, all of which we have discussed in previous videos, were made too. China is Indonesia's second largest investor after Singapore, investing $8.2 billion in 2022, mostly into the nation's nickel industry. Jakarta has made no secret of its desire for overseas investors to build battery and electric vehicle plants in the country too. As we have discussed in a previous video, while China is the biggest EV market in the world, Southeast Asia is the fastest growing EV market, with big players, Chinese, Japanese, European and others, pouring investment into the region, attracted by competitive labour costs, newly established supply lines and industrial outfittings, and close proximity to final markets in the region. So far, Thailand and Vietnam have been the biggest beneficiaries of all this, but Indonesia wants some of the action too. Bloomberg reports that a top official from Indonesia has said that he will meet with a representative from China's automaker giant BYD Co. to discuss EV investments in his country. In an interview with Chinese financial media outlet Caixin, President Widodo expressed that Indonesia has, quote, great potential in natural resources, demographic bonus, and a growing middle class, while China has the advantage in technology and capital funding, end quote, adding that Beijing and Jakarta should collaborate through investment cooperation, especially in green energy and EV industries, as well as in the development of Nusantara, Indonesia's new capital city. The Southeast Asian nation's leader appears happy with Chinese investment and foreign policy. However, next up, we will look at a new survey from Pew and see that not all countries' populations feel the same way. Hey everyone, if you're enjoying this episode, don't forget to hit that like button. Sharing with people who you think would enjoy this content is also a huge help. It's the best way for the channel to grow. And for anyone who can go the extra mile and keep China Update financially sustainable, Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee links are in the description below. Thank you so much everybody for the ongoing support. And finally for today's video, highly reputable US-based Pew Research has published a new survey this week. Indeed, it was released a little less than 24 hours ago, asking people in 24 countries about their attitudes towards the PRC and its foreign policy. The survey report is titled, Views of China are broadly negative across 24 countries, though some nations do still maintain fairly positive views on China. To end today's video, let's unpack some of this survey. We need to note a few things first. The report explores the views on China's role in the world, including as an economic power, and perceptions of Chinese soft power. For non-US data, the report draws on nationally representative surveys of over 27,000 adults conducted from February 20th through May 22nd, 2023. All surveys were conducted over the phone with adults in Canada, France, Germany, Greece, Italy, Japan, Netherlands, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. Surveys were conducted face-to-face in Argentina, Brazil, Hungary, India, Indonesia, Israel, Kenya, Mexico, Nigeria, Poland, and South Africa. In Australia, they used a mixed-mode probability-based online panel. In the United States, they surveyed over 3,500 adults from March 20th through 26, 2023. Now let's look at the survey results, and we are now examining excerpts of the survey report and quoting directly. Views of China are broadly negative across 24 countries in a new Pew Research Center survey. A median of 67% of adults express unfavorable views of the country, while 28% have a favorable opinion. Negative views extend to evaluations of China's international actions. Despite several high-profile diplomatic initiatives by Beijing over the past year, such as brokering a peace deal between Saudi Arabia and Iran and issuing a 12-point proposal for the end of violence in Ukraine, a median of 71% think China does not contribute to global peace and stability. Most people also think China does not take into account the interests of other countries in its foreign policy, 76%, and a median of 57% say China interferes in the affairs of other nations a great deal or a fair amount. Still, attitudes towards China are somewhat rosier in middle-income than high-income countries. Across 8 middle-income countries, Pew Research Center has not surveyed since 2019 due to the challenges of conducting face-to-face interviews during the pandemic. India stands out as the only middle-income country in which a majority has unfavorable views of China. And in 3 middle-income countries, Kenya, Mexico, and Nigeria, a majority even gives China a positive rating. Fewer in these middle-income countries also criticize China's global behavior, and many more see China's soft power appeal. Indeed, publics in these middle-income countries offer relatively favorable ratings for China's entertainment products, its universities, and its standard of living, while few in most high-income countries agree. Across all 24 countries surveyed, however, there is more agreement about China's technology. A median of 69% describe China's technological achievements as the best or above average relative to other wealthy nations, with similar shares in high and medium income countries. A median of 54% also see China's military as the best in the world. But views of the country as the world's foremost economic power have faltered somewhat in recent years. More people now name the United States as the top economic power than China, a median of 42% versus 33% respectively. Much of the shift has come in high-income countries, where the share naming China has fallen in nearly every surveyed country, including by double digits in Germany, the Netherlands, Poland, and Sweden. In the US, where equal shares, 43%, called China and the US the world's leading economic power in 2022, views have shifted significantly over the past year. Now, Americans are 10 percentage points more likely to name the US than China, 48% versus 38%. Across many high-income countries surveyed, which are in North America, Western Europe, and parts of the Asia-Pacific region, a large majority has unfavorable views of China, as has been the case for multiple years. Indeed, in almost every high-income country surveyed, negative views currently stand at or near historic highs. In most countries, this does not reflect a significant increase over last year, but rather, negative views have simply remained high in recent years. Here ends the direct quote. Okay, that is today's episode of China Update. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Have a wonderful Friday. There is a chance that there may not be an episode tomorrow. If there's no episode tomorrow, I will make up for it on Sunday. Again, have a great Friday, have a lovely weekend, and I will see you all, hopefully, tomorrow.